What happens to a nation when its strongest protector is gone, when the roar that once shook enemies into silence becomes only a memory carried by the wind? That was the question hanging over Wakanda. The drums still beat, but they sounded different now, slower, heavier. From the glowing towers of the capital to the quiet lands beyond the mountains, grief settled gently, like morning mist. Wakanda had not just lost a hero, it had lost certainty. In the great hall, the throne stood empty. Gold and vibranium still shone, but the presence that once filled the room did not answer back, and yet the nation still stood. Before her people, the queen rose. Her crown was steady, her voice was calm, her heart carried the weight of loss.
Wakanda has buried a hero, but we will not bury our identity. We stand today because we remember who we are. We do not move forward by forgetting the past. We move forward by honoring it. Wakanda will endure.
A nation does not fall, she said, because it loses one hero. It falls only when it forgets who it is. Beyond Wakanda's borders, the world leaned closer. Whispers grew louder, eyes watched more closely. Powerful nations wondered if silence meant weakness. Inside Wakanda, another battle was being fought. In a quiet laboratory filled with glowing screens and unfinished ideas, a young genius stood alone. Knowledge had always been her refuge. Logic had always made sense. But grief did not follow rules. If all this brilliance, she whispered, cannot save the ones we love, then what is it truly worth?
I was taught that knowledge could solve anything, but grief does not listen to logic. And for the first time, I don't know how to fix what is broken. The Black Panther was never just a symbol of strength. It was a promise, and I am ready to carry it forward.
As Wakanda mourned, something ancient stirred. Far beyond the shoreline, beneath the restless ocean, another civilization watched. Hidden, powerful, protective of its own secrets. When Wakanda's sensors began to glow, warriors were called, not for conquest, but for
My
protection.
life is not my own. It belongs to Wakanda. And as long as I breathe, she will be defended. Strength without wisdom invites destruction. Today, we choose protection, not pride.
And when the two worlds finally met, it was not hatred that stood between them. It was fear. Fear of loss, fear of destruction, fear of being misunderstood. A warning was given. The surface world destroys what it does not understand. The Ocean King said, choose carefully where you stand. War hovered close, not because of evil, but because grief met grief and pride met pride.
We do not seek war, but we will not allow our world to be destroyed by those who refuse to understand it. You protect your people as fiercely as I protect mine. Perhaps that is where peace begins.
In that moment, the young genius could no longer hide behind invention. She returned to something older than technology, older than doubt. She returned to tradition, to memory, to the voices of those who came before her. And there, in stillness, she understood. The Black Panther was never just a person. It was a promise to protect, a promise to lead, a promise to stand, even when fear tries to rule. Strength had not disappeared. It had been waiting. When she lifted her head, clarity replaced confusion. Purpose replaced pain. And as the sun rose over Wakanda once more, a symbol returned, not to erase the past, but to honor it. Side by side, former rivals stood, not as enemies, but as guardians of their people. The queen looked upon her nation again. We will protect our own, she declared. We will honor those we have lost, and we will move forward together. The drums sounded once more. This time they were strong, because legends do not end when heroes fall. They live on in the courage to rise, in the wisdom to unite, and in the hearts brave enough to carry the responsibility forward. Wakanda Forever. Moral lessons. 1. Strength is proven after loss, not before it. True power is revealed not when everything is secure, but when hope must be rebuilt from grief. 2. Leadership is responsibility, not position. A leader is not defined by a title, but by the willingness to step forward when fear is greatest. 3. Legacy lives through values, not individuals. Heroes may fall, but their purpose survives when others choose to carry it on. 4. Fear creates conflict. Understanding creates unity. Most battles are born from misunderstanding. Wisdom listens before it fights. 5. A nation stands when its people stand together. Unity is the greatest protection any society can have.